You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Okay, so let's take a comfortable seat for yourself, whether that's kneeling. I'm actually kneeling on a bolster, either side of the bolster. You can sit on a bolster, you can sit on a block, you can sit against a wall if you like. I want you to be comfortable here and just take a few moments just to relax into the neck, maybe dropping the neck forwards, backwards, sideways. Just gently circle through the shoulders and just feel your day start to release out of your body tension. And as you start to bring yourself into your space, you can place the hands wherever they feel comfortable, palms face up, face down, whatever feels good. It might be in the lap. You might like to take a mudra. I'll give you that choice. And maybe the eyes close as you breathe out. You soften the gaze, relaxing through the facial expression. And taking those steady, even, and equal breaths in and out through the nostrils. Breathing in and breathing out, letting go, releasing tightness, tension, any thoughts that don't need to be with you in the next hour and a quarter. This is your time to become more self-aware. Time for self-exploration, that Jnana yoga, the path of wisdom, the path of knowledge, path of self-realization. And we can certainly do that when we come to a yin practice, because we are giving ourselves that time within each posture. And our practice today, we'll be working with mainly the upper body, working into the neck, the shoulders, the shoulder joint, releasing tightness and tension around the muscles, all of the connective tissue around the ball and socket of the shoulder. The upper, the middle back, and also the chest. And to find that stability within the shoulder girdle itself. So last week we worked a lot with the lower body and finding that pelvic stability, not hitching up left and right hips, balancing out the right and the left sides of the lower body. I want you to find that for yourself today as well, balancing out the right and the left sides of the upper body. So just take note now, right and left arms. Observe the right and left hands. Observe the right and left fingers and thumbs. Observe the chest. Observe the lungs, the middle and the upper back. And if you wish to, always a choice, draw into an affirmation or an intention, maybe an I am statement. And as we work with the upper body, we start to work with the higher chakras, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and of course the crown chakra, as well as the lung and the heart meridians. So let's take our Sitali breath. It's a very cooling breath. We breathe in through the mouth and out through the nose. When we breathe in through the mouth, it's like we're sucking in through a straw. So you just breathe in through very, very lightly open lips and then breathing out through the nostrils. And when we breathe in that cooling breath, imagine that breath is cool as it breathes in. So we want to cool our body temperature down. So breathing in. Long deep breath. Breathe out through the nostrils. Close the mouth. Breathe in through the mouth as if you were sucking through a straw. Breathe out through the nose and continue at your own pace for another 8 rounds. Feel the expansion of the lungs as you breathe in and the deflation of the lungs as you breathe out. Once you've completed your 8 rounds, just breathe normally through the nostrils. You may notice that the lips, the mouth have become a little bit dry, so just swallow, create some moisture inside the mouth, or if you wish to, take a drink. And just notice how that breath felt for you. Might be a pranayama, a breathing technique that is unfamiliar. Nice and gently, as you next breathe in, reach the arms out to the side, lift them up above the head, and the shoulders may rise here up towards the ears, so stretch the fingers away, stretch the shoulder blades, the side body, the waist, all the way up from the hip, as if somebody's lifting you up from the hip. And then gently drop the shoulder blades, but keep the fingers and the arms where they are. So the shoulder blades come down, the rib cage starts to drop, and the sides of the body start to release, keeping the arms above you. They don't have to be too close together. And then just drop the left arm out to the side and just reach over, gently stretching through the side body. Letting the head drop. And then bring yourself back up. Reach those arms up. Shoulders come up towards the ears. Feel the stretch down the side bodies all the way from the waist and the hip. And then gently drop the shoulder blades. Soften through the rib cage. And then dropping the hand over. Reaching over to the side. Again, side body stretch. We don't want to compress into this side. We want to keep a nice lift. And then bring yourself back into center and just dropping the hands into a cactus. So draw the elbows down in line with the shoulders and then just gently wave them in as you drop the belly and the spine back. wave them back and press the chest open to the sky. A few more, just ripple here. So it doesn't have to be too tense. I want you to find the breath on the inhale as you open the back and chest, and then curl everything in. So this is like a seated cat and cow, just opening nice and gently into the shoulders. Breathe out, scoop the belly back to the spine. Last time, just press the arms back and then release the arms down and just gently circle through the shoulders. So we don't want to let the shoulders tire. If they do tire throughout the practice today, just take a moment to release them out, letting the head drop to the side. Think about the ear drawing down. Let me tie my hair up even. I know how pretty it looks, but spent a lot of money on it. So think if you've dropped the chin towards the chest. Lift the chin, keep the head facing forward, and notice if you've dropped into the shoulder. Again, keeping that stability across the collarbones, just releasing the head, drawing that shoulder down. If you wish to, you can always increase by bringing that hand up. That adds a little bit of extra stretch, a little bit of extra weight, so it might not be for you. The neck very rarely gets stretched out as much as we need it to be, but those cervical vertebrae, 7 of them in the neck, are very, very delicate. They're also very, very small. We're just here for a minute or so. Steady breaths, breathing into that stretch. And if this finger is kind of reaching downwards towards the mat, you're going to get a deeper stretch still. Think about that middle finger reaching down. Good. Release the hand first, and then maybe use the hand to lift the head rather than use the neck muscles. So dropping ear down to shoulder, release so that you've got that collarbones, shoulders are nice and level. And then maybe you introduce the hand as extra weight. Notice right and left sides of the neck, how they feel. You might notice one side pulls into the jaw and into the throat again, making sure that you don't dip or lift the chin. If you can see yourself, just take a look and see where the head is. Hi. And then reaching that middle finger downwards towards the mat is going to intensify that stretch even just slightly. Maybe too much for you with the hand. That's okay. And then gently release the hand and then use it to lift the head up. Turn the head towards the shoulder this time. Again, try to keep those shoulders nice and level. So as we turn the head, we don't want to draw that shoulder forward. We want to keep the shoulders nice and level. So just the neck, just the head is turning. Keep the chin nice and lifted. Look away. Few breaths. And then gently, slowly bring the head back into center. Keep it going all the way over to the other side. Just turn the head and neck. Try not to bring that shoulder forward to get a deeper stretch. Keep the chin nice and lifted. Relax the facial expression, steady breath. Gently, head comes back into center. Drop the chin towards the chest, and again, don't round the shoulders over. So keep the shoulders nice and upright. Just let the chin drop and feel that stretch come into the back of the neck. Reach the fingers down so that you can draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. Let the breath take the head, weight of the head even more. Feel where that stretch travels to. Is it just in the neck? Is it going into the area of the upper back between the shoulder blades? Is it going into the middle spine? And then gently lift the chin, bring the head back up. We're going to tilt it backwards, but keep the chin nice and lifted rather than compress into the back of the neck. I'd rather you just lift the chin here than drop the neck here. So keep the neck nice and long, lift from the chin, draw the shoulders down. Maybe the gaze goes to the sky. Might just be a foot raised in front of you. Now you're going to need some muscles just to hold the head up. We've got 5 kilos on top of your 7 cervical vertebra there. So, that's why I say going back too far is not going to benefit you very, very much. Just want to stretch open the throat. Notice how the breath comes to you when you've opened up the throat. And then gently lift the head back into center. So dropping the chin towards the chest, take the ear to the shoulder, semicircles, not full circles, ear to shoulder the other way. Notice any clicks, crunching, grinding, what feels good from right to left. You might feel particularly tight one side than the other. Think it is just the head, not the shoulders. Really slow it down now. So you're taking every movement in. And then bring back into center. And then lift the head up. Let's take a gentle twist. If you want to change your seat, please do. I'm going to bring my soles of my feet into butterfly. So with this one, this is again a little bit of a movement. So Sharon and I did this one yesterday. So we start the twist round behind us. So right hand goes to left knee. And then as we twist around to the other side, the arms raise and they gently go over to the other side. That hand is a gentle leverage for a gentle twist. Breathing in, arms reach up. Breathing out into the twist. Let's try 3 or 4 more. Breathing in to raise the arms, breathe out to the twist. Breathe in and out. And just finishing on the opposite side to where we started. And bringing yourself back into center. Let's draw the belly back. So the pelvis tucks underneath you. So just notice here. So we're sitting nice and upright. Maybe you're on a block, but you drop the belly and the pelvis tilts underneath you. So the pubic bone comes forward. And then pressing up and the chest lifts. Again, it's that cat and cow. So dropping back, chin to chest, and then pressing up, face to sky. Couple more. Exhale. Seeing if you can draw the spine back towards the mat. And last time. And then bring center, lift the legs together, give yourself a hug, take the feet a little bit wider so that you can get the belly, the chest all the way between the knees, maybe resting the hands on the shins, letting the head fall between the knees, relax the head and the neck as much as you can, relax the shoulders. And breathe into the back body here. And then nice and slowly, just releasing, swinging the legs around. If you're on a hard surface, just pad out your knees. Going to take just some twists here in threading the needle. So reaching the left arm up towards the sky, open through the side body. And that hand comes through and under, palm face up, and draw the outer shoulder down towards the mat. Now, if you need to rest your head on a block, please do so. So your left ear goes down onto a block if it might meet the mat. Your right palm can stay where it is, or it can reach forward. Or you might wish to take a bind here, and that hand comes back to take hold of the left thigh. So think again where we're at with our stability of our joints here. So the pelvis, thinking that the right and the left sit bones and the right and the left hip are equal. Knees are above, the hips are above the knees, pressing lightly into the tops of the feet. And those fingertips in the underneath arm are reaching away, and the back of the hand is pressing downwards. See if you can get any additional rotation in the right side of your body without compromise to the neck. Let's hold for one more minute here. You can always take a modification as you need to, lifting the belly up towards the spine. And then wherever you are, bringing the hand back onto the palm so that you can press through that right arm. Bring yourself back into the center. Give yourself a little bit of a shimmy out through the hips, through the waist, through the spine, through the head and neck. Cat and cow if you choose. This time the right arm sweeps up and away. Press the back of the hand away. And then thread it through and under. Back of the hand comes down. Keeping those hips nice and level above the knees. And choosing your arm option. Either staying on the palm, reaching the arm forward, or taking that bind to the right thigh. I'm just taking note here because we've worked through most of the right and the left sides of the neck. Notice the right and the left sides of the neck, the right and the left sides of the shoulders. Right and left sides of the body. A few more breaths, pressing the feet downwards. Bringing the left arm back, pressing into the palm, and then releasing the underneath arm, bringing yourself back into tabletop, swaying out, hips, waist, rib cage, shoulders, head and neck. Bring the knees wide, toes come together, release back into a wide leg child's pose. Take the arms wide of your mat here. So really spread the fingers, spread the palms, reach the fingers away from you so that you're wide through the collarbone, wide through the chest. Head might come to the mat or onto a block. And as you stretch and press the fingers away, you're going to release the hips and the buttocks back towards the heels. So you should feel a really deep stretch through the spine here. And then breathe out and relax and let that tension go. Settle into the posture. If anything is uncomfortable for you here with the shoulders, you can always bring the hands underneath the forehead. Relax the belly, the chest down between the thighs towards the mat. Allowing the chest to be heavy. And then slowly lifting the head, bring the arms back in front of you. We're going to come into puppy pose rather than heart pose. So you come up onto the forearms as if they were in Sphinx, and you come back up onto the knees. But so the shoulders might be underneath, might be above the elbows, and the knees are underneath the hips. So rather than dropping the belly here, keep the belly nice and lifted, and press into the forearms and the palms here. Crown of the head reaches towards the thumbs. So feel what's going on into the shoulders here. You might feel they're getting broader. You are pressing away from the mat. Good. all right, we're not here for long, not here for 3 minutes. Just some energy before you are thinking about doing forearm planks or dolphins or pincha mayurasanas, which are your forearm stands, and then gently slide forward, release the hips, bring the hands underneath and sway out through the hips. Good work. Release the chest, release the belly, release the shoulders. Take the cheek to the mat and bring the arms back behind you. So you can relax the shoulders. Palms are face up here. And then pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, just lift the shoulders away, give them a circle. So you're almost massaging into the muscles of the chest, muscles around the rib cage. And then rest the backs of the hands down onto the sacrum here. And just lift the elbows, lift the shoulders, press them up towards the sky as if they were wings opening. And then nice and gently release down, let them go on the breath out. So inhale, we press up. So you might be on the cheek. So head stays down, chest stays down. It's just the shoulders and the elbows are winging. And release. So tiny movement. Lift elbows and shoulders. Draw the elbows towards one another in the center of the back. That's it, yes. And release. Twice more. Lifting up. And releasing down. Draw the elbows towards one another. And release down. Release the hands, palms face up. Sway out through the hips. Let's come into Sphinx pose. Bringing the forearms forward. Widening the feet as you need to. Getting the ears away from the shoulders so we're not sinking the neck into the shoulders or the chest here. We're pressing away through the mat. Crown of the head reaches forward. So again, all of this wonderful work that you put in, is good for the upper back, is good for the chest, it's good for opening up through the heart, the rib cage, because as humans, we tend to spend a lot of time sitting down on our phones, computers, driving, all of that stuff, lifting, reaching for the top shelf, all of that stuff. Letting the hips and the pelvis drop as much as you can, releasing into the glutes. The energy is in the upper body, lower body is relaxed. If you feel yourself dropping, press into the mat a little bit more. Few more breaths. And gently widen the elbows, roll down slowly, rib by rib. Chest comes down, And bring the hands in front of the forehead. Sway out. Gently press back through tabletop. Do a few rounds of cat and cow if you need, or just swaying out into those little S bend. And coming back to kneeling, rolling back and rolling up through the spine. Head is the last thing to come up. Take your time here and just notice as you kneel, if kneeling's comfortable for you, you can always bring the feet around in front of you. Notice if you're hunching over like this, the shoulders are rolling forward, or if you're actually opening up through the chest, or if you're even flaring the ribs. So draw the ribs in and back and dropping them down. So sitting nice and tall. Feel the spine lengthening with each breath. Okay, so this is reverse prayer. So you can stay kneeling. We're going to bring the hands back around us. They might stay here. They might go to here. They might go to here. Or they might come to here. This is a little bit tighter into the wrists. So take that one easy for the moment because we haven't spent time warming up the wrists. We've spent time warming up the shoulders. Okay, so when we want to do our reverse prayer, we don't want to push the reverse prayer into the spine so the rib cage flares. Draw the rib cage back and in and down. Drop the shoulders away from the ears on each exhale. Breathing through tight areas here. And if kneeling's not for you today, you can always bring those feet around into butterfly. Be aware of where your challenge is. Lovely. And gently release the hands. If you took the reverse prayer option with the hands together, your wrists might feel a little bit tight there. So circle those out for a moment. Give the wrists a little bit of love. Massage into the wrists, into the hands. Really find some mobility there. And then interlace the fingers and just release. One way, break dancing, and the other. This is how you spend your weekends, isn't it? Saturday night, disco dancing. Nice, and give the wrists a little shake out. All right, so we're going to come back down to prone. This is our bow tie. So what we're actually doing is we're crossing the arms underneath us. Now, if both arms is too much for you, just work with one so that you can release the left arm forward. So the right arm comes through and underneath you, closest to the body. Left arm is the one that's furthest away. You can always rest your head on a block here or a cushion. And the lower, I'm going to have to move my mic. So the lower you are and the hands are out to the side, the more challenging that's going to be for your shoulders. But we're, again, trying to find that equality with right and left, and we're going to want to draw the left shoulder downwards. So we want to make sure that we are symmetrical. So if your right hand is in front of, closest to your chest, you're going to be drawing the left shoulder down. If your left arm is closest to your chest, you're going to be drawing the right shoulder down. Yes, that's it, Dad. Draw the right one down. Yeah. That's it. Not too much. If it's too tight, that's it. Perfect. Great. Breathe out. If you feel any kind of tingling into the fingers, it's probably a message. So you might have gone a little bit too far. If you feel any kind of pain or pulling or overstretching in the rotator cuff and the outer side of your shoulders, again, you may have gone a little bit too far for you today. Nice and gently come out of the posture. Just roll to one side, slide out an arm, slide out the other arm, bring them back behind you by the hips, palms face up. Relax and let go for a moment. It's not one that we do very, very often, so it may feel a little bit unfamiliar or a challenge. So do what you can with this one, and then we're going to change the arms. So the opposite arm comes in closest towards you, and you may notice differences here. I'm not going to lie. Oof. Instantly. So again, think about which shoulder you need to be leveling off with. If one shoulder is sitting a lot higher than the other, think about what you need to do with the arms to draw them level. Again, observe any of that tingling, the tightness, the pulling, the overstretching. We never want to put ourselves in a place of pain and discomfort. Deep breath out, let the body drop a little bit more weight, more gravity takes you down. Going to deepen into that pose. Nice and slowly. Press yourself up so that you can release the arms. Steadily release them back by the side of the hips, palms face up. Relax the legs and body. Sway out. This time, just interlace the fingers back behind you. This is a half locust, just to roll the shoulders back and open, that almost that winging of the elbows. Press the knuckles down towards the heels, lift the upper body. So you're going to open up the chest this time. Crown of the head reaches away. Maybe the chest comes off the mat, maybe just the head. Keep pressing the knuckles back, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. And gently release. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and press yourself back through tabletop. Take yourself back through child's pose. And slowly roll up through the spine, back up into that kneeling, and circle through the shoulders this time. Good. Let's come onto our backs. So finding a block or a bolster. You can use either. I'm going to use a block. And the block obviously has 3 different levels. So you've got the lowest level, medium level, highest level. We're going to go into a supported bridge in a minute. So that block goes underneath our pelvis. But for the moment, just draw the knees in towards the chest and give yourself a little massage through the shoulders. So you can move the arms. You're going to massage the shoulder blades underneath you into the mat. If you're on a nice carpet or a squidgy mat, that's really nice. And then you can relax into the base of your spine and also the middle back and the waist. And then finding that block, placing it on any of those levels. I'm going to place it on the medium level, making sure that it's nice and stable. You're not going to roll off of it. And then maybe you're using a bolster, which is a little bit more comfortable. Ooh. Buttocks drop off the back side of the block and your lower back is clear. Spread the shoulder blades, draw the middle and the upper back down, and relax the hands wherever they feel comfortable. You can stretch out the legs if you like into pontoon. Maybe the arms come back into cactus. All options. Maybe if you try one of those options and it's not for you today, just reverse back to where's comfortable. We're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. Letting the weight release into the hips if you've chosen that pontoon and that supported bridge into the block or the bolster. And if you chose the extended leg option of pontoon, just bringing the feet back, soles of the feet press back down into the mat. Release the arms if you chose cactus. Gently press away from the mat to lift the block away from underneath the hips and start to slowly roll down through the shoulders, middle, lower back. Take a restorative rest here. Feet go wide. Knees drop in towards one another. Arms out to the side. And take a moment, rest and respond to coming out of that supported bridge. Keeping the feet where they are. Lift the arms up towards the sky. And wrists are in line with the shoulders here, and just dropping the shoulders down underneath you. So stretch the fingers away so that the shoulders are rounding and the middle and the upper back are pressing into the mat. And then draw the shoulder blades down, spreading them out underneath you. Imagine someone's pulling your fingers towards the sky, shoulders round. And breathe out as the shoulder blades come back down, spreading out on the mat. Last time, reach the fingers away. Middle back and upper back press into the mat. And then as you release the shoulder blades, they spread out underneath you. Rotate through the wrists, one way and the other. And then heel toe the feet back into parallel, arms come out to the side, just dropping the hips over to the right side, drop the knees over to the left. If you need to, place a block underneath the knees. And you can choose to have cactus arms here if you wish to, placing both shoulders and both backs of the hands down onto the mat. You're going to draw the right shoulder downwards because the knees are going to the left. So we're opening up into that beautiful reclined twist. Releasing through the right side of your body. Letting the knees be heavy. If you've got a spare block, you can always stick that between the knees as well, or a blanket. And then bring the knees back in towards the center, bring the hands back. Find neutral. Just allow the body to settle. And then taking the block over if you chose that option, shifting the hips to the left and the knees then drop to the right. Again, finding where that block needs to be placed to support you, and if you need a blanket or another block in between the knees. This side I feel I do. Arms can come into cactus with a bend at the elbow or out to the sides. And this time, because the knees are going to the right, we want to draw down through the left shoulder and release into the left side of the body. Couple of minutes rest here. Let the legs be heavy. Deep breath out to let go even further. Opening across the collarbones, the chest. Bringing the arms back to release the blocks or blankets. Bringing the knees back into the center, realign spine, pelvis, and recover. Last posture before we come into Shavasana is our supported fish. I will give you the option of using the bolster, or you can use 2 blocks. So if you're coming into that supported fish with 2 blocks, you can place the blocks. One goes in the center of your spine, just between the shoulder blades. If you're using the bolster, maybe have something just to lift the head a little, because sometimes it takes a bit of pressure into the back of the neck. We're only here for 3 minutes, so you can choose your option. And those blocks, remember they all have different levels. I'm going to put the head one on its highest level. Arms can come out to the side so that you can open the chest and the collarbones, allow them to melt and mold themselves over that prop. And you can choose feet straight along the mat or butterfly pose. This is your last and final posture to really work through the upper body. To relieve the tightness and the stresses of modern day living. Let the body weight release into your props as much as you can here. Relax through the facial expression. Give yourself a little smile as we come towards the end of our practice together today. Working with the higher chakras of the heart, the throat, the third eye and the crown. And also to stimulate the lung and the heart meridians. Taking a deeper breath just to prepare yourself to move. Breathing in. Expansive ribcage and lung capacity. Breathing out. Release the legs. Release the arms. Place the soles of the feet down as you gently lift the head to look along the body and start to press yourself up to release the blocks. And coming back down all the way onto the mat. And finding your Shavasana. Maybe making yourself a little bit warmer if you need to. Taking a drink. Drawing the knees in. Rolling out if you need before you come into Shavasana. Arms can go as wide as you have the space. Open the chest. Let the shoulder blades release. Feel the connection of the middle and the upper back. Maybe there's a slight arching in the lower back. It's a natural lordosis within any person's spine. Maybe you like to have the feet on the floor with the knees bent so you can drop the lower back down. Make sure the chin isn't lifting too much and extending into the throat, but also not dipping towards the chest. The neck is long. Closing the eyes if you haven't already, and finding a steady and slowing, cooling breath. If there is something you want to do or you want to create, start today. You don't have to be completely ready. Action will set everything in motion. And even if you don't know where to begin or don't feel prepared, start before you're ready, knowing that everything will fall into place as it needs to. Quit making the excuses and just take action. Your future will thank you for it. I'll leave you for a few moments of silence in your Shavasana and bring you back around shortly. Beginning to take a few deeper breaths now to bring awareness back into your surroundings and onto your mat, and taking soft and gentle movement into the hands and fingers, into the feet and toes, into the head and neck. Choosing to stretch the arms above the head or draw in, or both. Rolling, massaging out, and just being aware of how the upper body now feels. And taking time, when you're ready, to roll over to one side. And returning up to a comfortable seat as you bring your hands into Anjali Mudra at Heart Center to close our practice together, sitting nice and tall. Take note of how open, less stressed, less tense you may now feel. Steady and slow breaths as you draw back into your own personal intention, if you chose one for practice, and how that intention may be able to travel with you into the rest of your week ahead, taking yoga with you as you go, and always remembering to give yourselves huge thanks for showing up onto your mat and investing the time in you. I give you all thanks, and have a lovely and restful evening. Namaste.